I never thought moving to Oakwood Estates would mean going to war. Seriously, when we first saw the neighborhood, it was like a dream come true. Perfect lawns, beautiful houses, a community pool that sparkled in the sun. What the real estate agent conveniently left out was that the entire place was run by Karen Winters. You know the type. 50-something, a blonde helmet of hair that permanently screamed, "I demand to speak to your manager." From day one, Karen made it her personal mission to make our lives miserable. We didn't get a welcome basket. We got a 3-page list of HOA violations she'd already found. "Your mailbox is the wrong shade of forest green," she said, with a smile that was all teeth. "Your trash bins are visible, and those wind chimes. Not approved." I tried to be nice, explaining we just moved in. But she just said, "The rules apply to everyone. I'll be back in 7 days," and she was, clipboard in hand, ready for inspection. We'd fixed everything except the mailbox. The approved paint was on backorder. I even showed her the receipt. She wasn't having it. "That sounds like poor planning," she snapped. "That'll be a $50 fine for every day that's not fixed." Then she just turned and walked away, calling back, "Rules are rules." Things got worse when my 11-year-old daughter, Emma, wanted a pet rabbit. I read the HOA rulebook cover to cover. There were pages about dogs and cats, but absolutely nothing about small, caged animals. So, we got Oreo, a little black and white rabbit. We set up a hutch in a discreet corner of the backyard. Emma was thrilled. For 3 weeks, everything was peaceful. Then, one afternoon, I found Karen in my backyard, taking pictures of Oreo's hutch. "This is an unauthorized structure," she declared, "and an unauthorized pet." I calmly showed her the HOA guidelines, pointing out that small animals weren't mentioned. Her face turned bright red. "The board will be amending the rules," she said, "effective immediately. That creature has 1 week to be removed." That was it. I was done being pushed around. I started a petition, asking my neighbors if they felt Karen was overstepping. And you know what? So many of them signed it, sharing their own horror stories of her bullying. Karen did not take that well. She started driving by our house constantly, documenting every tiny thing. Grass a little too long, a hose not perfectly coiled, a kid's toy left out. Fine, fine, fine. Then came the morning that changed everything. Emma ran into the house, sobbing, "Dad, Oreo won't wake up." I ran out to the hutch. He was just still. At first, I thought maybe it was natural, but something felt wrong. I found out to other families who recently got small pets had the same thing happen. Their guinea pig and hamster had also died that same morning. I took Oreo to an exotic animal vet. Her face turned grim. "This wasn't natural," she said. "I'm finding signs consistent with antifreeze poisoning. I have to report suspected animal cruelty." My blood ran cold. I remembered seeing Karen lurking near our yard the night before. At the time, it was just her usual creepy surveillance, but now, it was terrifying. The lab test confirmed it. Oreo had been poisoned. They even found crumbled almond cookies near the hutch, likely used to hide the taste of the antifreeze. I went straight to the police. They started an investigation, talking to me and the other families. When the officers questioned Karen, she acted shocked and outraged, claiming we were all us rule breakers trying to frame her. The police told me her story had holes, but without a direct witness or confession, building a case would be tough. The investigation is still ongoing, and the neighborhood is on edge. We all just want justice for our pets and for the peace that was stolen from us. Thanks for listening, and I'll keep you all updated. I was not letting this go. My daughter, Emma, was heartbroken, and to other families in our neighborhood were going through the exact same nightmare. I knew I had to do something. So, I hired a private investigator and installed discreet security cameras all around our property. We didn't have to wait very long. Just 3 days later, at 4:30 in the morning, the cameras caught her, Karen. She was creeping up to the brand new rabbit hutch we had just bought. Emma had been so devastated. We promised her we'd get another rabbit, but only when we knew it would be absolutely safe. The footage was crystal clear, completely unmistakable. You could see Karen sprinkling some kind of substance inside the empty hutch, and then carefully placing pieces of cookie around it, just like the other times. I grabbed my phone and called the police immediately. The officers arrived before the sun even came up. They were amazing, collecting samples from the hutch before the morning dew could wash away the evidence, and sure enough, the lab test came back with a match. It was the same deadly mix of antifreeze and almond cookies. But even with the video and the lab results, Karen denied everything. She actually had the nerve to claim she was being framed. But her story fell apart with the final piece of evidence, something she never saw coming: DNA. Investigators found skin cells on the cookies and a single strand of hair left behind in the hutch. It was a perfect match to Karen, right down to the highlights from her expensive salon. The district attorney didn't hesitate. Karen was charged with 3 counts of animal cruelty, trespassing, and attempted animal cruelty for what she did to the new hutch. Her arrest was the talk of the neighborhood. As the police led her to the patrol car, she started screaming that she was just enforcing the rules and protecting property values. For the first time ever, her perfect hair was a mess, and her designer suit looked ridiculous next to the cold steel of the handcuffs. An emergency HOA meeting was called the next week. The room was packed with angry residents and the board members, who had let Karen get away with so much for so long, looked incredibly nervous. The evidence against her was just too much to ignore, especially with all the media attention her arrest had brought to our community. The board voted unanimously to remove Karen as president and ban her from ever holding an HOA position again. They even agreed to refund all the bogus fines she had handed out over the last year. Her professional life crumbled just as fast. Karen was a high-end real estate agent who prided herself on selling homes in neighborhoods with strict HOAs. But the security footage went viral, getting millions of views online. Her company quickly put out a statement saying they were horrified by her actions and fired her the same day the charges were filed. At her court hearing, Karen's whole carefully constructed world came crashing down. The judge set her bail at $25,000 and ordered her to stay at least 500 feet away from any house with pets. That's when she finally broke down, sobbing in the courtroom. "This will ruin me," she cried. "My reputation, my career. They're destroying everything." The judge was not impressed, pointing out that her actions were calculated and that the court takes animal cruelty, especially against a child's pet, very seriously. As they led her out, our eyes met. Her face was streaked with mascara, twisted in pure rage. And in that one moment, I finally understood. This was never about the rules or property values. It was always about control. It was about the power she had over people and the sick satisfaction she got from abusing it. And now, all of that power was gone. For the first time in her life, Karen Winters was the one being forced to follow the rules, and there was nothing she could do to change them. Thanks for watching. If you want to hear more stories like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.